There's a lot of people that have iPhones, and then a lot of people that that don't like iPhones. Welcome everybody. Welcome to the Biz Boyz broadcast. I'm Russ.
I'm Mason, because I don't want you to say Maidenly Mason.
That was his nickname for this week, is the Maidenly Mason.
Oh,
yeah.
He said it. All right, everybody knows it now.
All right. Yeah. So here on the Biz Boyz broadcast, we try to help new business owners by giving you some valuable business information, share our experience with growing our business, and do it in an entertaining way for you.
Yes, at least we try. And in this video, we're going to basically, in the spirit of informing you about the world of the business, because it's a lot bigger than us two, unfortunately, we have our segment called The News. I've got a couple articles that we're going to talk about today in varying degrees of industry.
Okay.
And we're going to start with Google bought a smartwatch, Russ.
Google bought a smartwatch.
So are you a fan of smartwatches? Do you use smartwatches?
I have never used a smartwatch, but I love Google.
Okay, well, all right, already a fan.
If you guys didn't know, I like Google.
Yeah,
I like
so
all the Google things.
So yeah. Google bought Fossil. I don't know if you're familiar with that brand.
Fossil,
I am.
yeah.
Yeah. So
I never liked the Fossil watches.
Oh wow, already shitting on Google.
I like Google. Maybe we'll make it better.
Fossil made a smartwatch IP technology. It didn't really breach very well into the market. So Google thought, hey, I don't want to invent my own, go through my own R&D. I'm just going to buy somebody else's. So that's essentially what they did. Is
so did they start with like software and they were trying to sell it to other smartwatch people, like hardware manufacturers?
No, Fossil made smartwatches. The Fossil made smartwatches completely off their own.
No, I mean Google. You said Google started by trying to make their own.
No. Google never tried to make their own.
Okay.
Google bought Fossil so they don't have to make their own.
Yeah.
So basically, according to research firm IDC, which stands for the International Data Corporation, that's cool, we've got an international data corporation, they estimate that global shipments of wearable devices have hit 125 million units in 2018. And that's up 8.5% from 2017. The market will continue to grow at 11% through each year all the way to 2022.
Okay.
So that basically presents a market increase. So that's justification for Google investing money in this.
Yeah.
To capitalize on this growing demand, Google agreed to pay $40 million for the IP of the Fossil smartwatch technology on January 2019. So this news is a little dated.
40 million.
I guess it was slow to get to me.
Less than I would have expected. But
yeah.
Okay.
Which would enable Google to expand in the growing wearable tech market. Not much else has been said, though there have been rumors of a product being launched as early as October 2019 this year.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay. So, what do you think about this? Do you think this is going to be enough to dethrone the smartwatch king, Apple?
Well, there's a lot of people that have iPhones, and then a lot of people that don't like iPhones.
I have an iPhone. Yeah, I'm not crazy about Apple. But.
Yeah, I have a Google Pixel. I have the Android people will like this smartwatch if they want a smartwatch. Now, whether or not Google can somehow get Apple users, like iPhone users, to use their smartwatch, I'm not sure. Probably not too much. But if they wanted to if they wanted to make a better smartwatch for the Android market, then absolutely. There aren't many options right now for Android users to have smartwatches. I've never really been interested in smartwatches very much. It's just I have a phone in my pocket. Like I can pull out a whole computer in my pocket. The only time I would want a smartwatch is if it was standalone and I could make calls and stuff from there. So if I was on a run or something and I didn't want to have to carry my phone in my pocket, I would only have to carry my watch. But most smartwatches, you need your phone around. If I have my phone, I'm just going to look at my phone. It does more. And this is just awkward with a small screen.
Well, so I would say that smartwatch technology is a growing industry, regardless of whether you think it's good or anything else. It's going to grow. So Google taking over Fossil smartwatch is a very smart idea. Saves on R&D.
Yeah.
And basically they can adopt the technology and use their types of apps and infrastructure in it. So I think it's a smart idea. We'll see what happens.
I agree.
When in October 2019. All right. That was a small one, Russ, but it was a very late one, so I figured I had to work it into this week's. But no, moving on to something I think is far more important, baby feeding.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
I guess babies do need to be fed.
Now, Russ, I know you're the nation. You're okay. You're the nation's leading baby expert. At least that's what I was going to say until you said that. Anyway, it may surprise you to find that corn syrup is the main ingredient in most infant formulas in the U.S. Don't like the idea of your baby basically eating candy every time you feed them? Well, meet Bobbie. I almost said Boobie when I first read this, but it's actually Bobbie. It's the name of the person who founded it. But anyway, a baby formula delivery startup promising healthier ingredients, calling itself the European Style. Bobbie's first product features fresh, grass-fed cow's milk as the main ingredient, and it does not include any corn syrup, maltodextrin, or other artificial syrups, sugars, or unhealthy oils.
Okay.
All right. The company was founded by 2 San Francisco moms, former Airbnb operators, which is, hey, huge fan of your product for in an Airbnb now. Laura and Sarah. I thought one of them's name was Bobbie. Okay, don't know where Bobbie came from then.
It's Boobie.
It's 2 B's. It's 2 B's. You'll see the picture. They founded the company in 2018 and pulled together $2.5 million in funding to fund this project, all while one of them was pregnant.
Wow.
Yes. Unfortunately, Bobbie only delivers.
Feed him with the thing?
Well, no, they didn't have the product at the time. So basically, they pulled together funding, and then she delivered the baby like right when this thing got finalized. Okay. But anyway, Bobbie only delivers to the Bay Area for now, which I'm not quite sure what Bay Area. It wouldn't tell me. I think.
San Francisco.
Oh, is that Bay? Oh,
that's
isn't there
the Bay Area.
Oh, I thought there was a Bay Area in LA.
It's just called the Bay Area.
Oh.
San Francisco.
All right, fair enough.
Yep.
However, the interested can order one 400-gram trial box for $27, which should make about 22 balls at 6 ounces. Or you can do a monthly subscription at $23 per box. Now,
okay.
I dug a little deeper there, Russ.
Okay.
I was curious.
Uh-huh.
How much does 22 bottles at 6 ounces actually get you? Right. That doesn't sound like a lot.
Yeah.
So I did digging. According to the Breastfeeding Center for Ann Arbor, they have done some calculations for baby formula. How convenient for this conversation.
How convenient, yes, indeed. Yes.
These calculations, you should know that these calculations don't take into account other factors like baby bottles and sterilized water, which would take into account, which would add to the cost.
Yeah.
Okay. So the average price of baby formula for a typical formula is about 11 cents per ounce.
Okay.
At 22 bottles for 6 ounces each at what I said was $27.
Yeah.
That's 132 ounces for $27, which equates to 20.45 cents. So it's a little bit more expensive.
Okay.
But you could argue healthy ingredients mark up the price.
Yeah.
Now, the breast cancer continues to say that a baby needs at least 15 to 30 ounces per day to get the proper amount of nutrients and supplements. So you take that, you times it by 30, which is the days in the month.
Yeah.
You need 450 at the lower end and 900 ounces at the higher end to satisfy the nutrition for a baby.
Okay.
Well, the monthly subscription box for the Bobbie only gives you 132 ounces. So you have to buy 4 to 8 of those.
Wow.
A month in order to properly feed a baby.
How much would that be then?
So that would be, thank you for asking, Russ.
I needted to know.
So
get to the point, Mason.
Yeah,
I need to know how much this is going to cost me when I have a baby.
So utilizing 11 cents for a typical baby formula, it would cost you about $50 to $100 to properly supply a baby. Using the 20.45 cents for Bobbie's formula, it would take $120 to $200.
Wow.
So it's pretty much double.
That's crazy.
The amount that you would have to pay to feed a baby. Now, maybe that's a price that's worth it for whole organic ingredients for baby formula, but I find that's a very bad model to have as a business because
rich people are going to have all the healthy babies,
yeah,
and all the poor people are going to have the unhealthy babies.
Personally, I think you should tweak the monthly subscription so that it actually provides enough nutrients for a baby to last a month. Even if it raises the price, it doesn't make sense to provide a sixth of a monthly supply of baby formula. So I'm a little worried about that company that at such a small quantity per month that they're actually going to fail, and they're going to have to tweak it so that they have to charge more per month.
Yeah, I don't know if they're actually gonna succeed. I mean, their product sounds good in terms of like the quality of the product, but it might just be too expensive for what it is.
Well, it does hit at mom's heartstrings, right? That is, you're hitting right at the emotions of moms, that you want the moms would pay whatever they top dollar to give quality ingredients to their baby. So they've got that going for them.
Yeah, even moms have a limited bank account though.
True, absolutely true. Absolutely true. So yeah, so that's. I look forward to see what happens with Bobbie. I think she says she's going to start doing some expansions later in the year, so maybe we'll tune back into
Maybe
her.
the price will come down if she starts making more and more of it.
Economies of scale may bring the price down. That's also true. I really think that her monthly box has to have far more ounces in it, though.
Yeah.
So anyway, that is the current event article number 2. Now. Okay. Russ, I have a bonus current event. Now, I'm not going to do a bonus segment this week with a challenge and a punishment and all that. So, not this week. I'm just going to do an article for you.
Okay.
All right. And this article is probably one of the coolest things I've ever read. We need to get rich quick, Russ, because Blue Origin is going to send humans into space later this year.
Later this year? Wow.
Yes. Using a new rocket called New Shepard. And a lunar lander called Blue Moon. That's where I got the name Blue Moon from. Not the beer. I was confused as well. The New Shepard is a suborbital rocket designed for short duration flight and not launching and not for launching large satellites into orbit. This will be handled by the New Glenn, which is slated for a 2021 launch and will be able to ferry 4,000 kilograms of goods to low orbit. But what do we care about? We care about.
Can they take me to Saturn?
No, it cannot.
Damn.
It cannot. It can only take you to the moon. So, in the short term,
I need to go to Titan, like right now.
For those of you who don't know,
away from you.
I'm gonna really. Jeff Bezos is the founder, CEO. I think he's the CEO of Blue Origin.
I don't think he's the I don't know. He could be.
I'm gonna say I know he's a founder. So
he's the founder of Blue Origin.
He's the founder of Blue Origin, and he created this product. In the short term, the idea is to produce a whole new industry of space tourism, so that they could send people into space, do a couple orbits, and then land back.
Mm-hmm. They're kind of like a competitor that's a mix of SpaceX and Virgin Galactic.
Yeah, so
interesting.
Tickets could cost upwards of $200 to $300K for each seat in the lunar lander. He did just recently go on a space event conference stage thing, and he showed this video that I'm about to show you right now. So, boo, boo, boo.
We're going to make this a Mystery Science Theater kind of thing?
Yeah, basically.
All right.
So Russ, this is a lot of the missions 1 through 9 that it took to actually develop this full thing.
That was 4 years ago.
Yes.
Successful first launch.
Oops.
Wait, this is Blue Origin stuff? Nice.
Yeah.
I actually haven't seen any Blue Origin flights.
Yeah. It looks rather phallic. The rocket. I gotta say, it's a little phallic. It's cool, really cool stuff, but it's a penis. So so they basically went through 9 different missions, slowly getting the rocket up to where it needs to be, and increasing the amount of time it stays in space.
So is this the one that's for human flight?
Yes. Yeah. So the way it works is basically it has a rocket, and then you see that lunar lander there.
Yeah.
That basically no.
Shot off to the side.
Yeah, it's shot off to the side. I think the lunar lander is at the top of it, and it's supposed to reach up. See, they're stationed in the top of it. That lunar lander supposed to reach up. You're supposed to see a little bit, and then it's supposed to fall back down slowly, and that's your ride as a space tourist.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So that's basically the bonus article.
I think I'd prefer Virgin Galactic though, where you launch in a rocket-powered craft and it goes up and then it lands like a normal plane.
Yep. Yeah. So in the short term, it's going to be space tourism. In the long term, Bezos did mention that he plans to have humanity colonize the moon, and NASA has gone on record and stated to have astronauts on the south pole of the moon by 2024.
On the south pole of the moon. Is that new? I've never.
Why the south pole of the moon? Thank you for asking. So the south pole of the moon has
There's
ice.
nobody over there.
No, there's so. He asked me. He's a very concerned, a very interested individual. The south pole has ice, and ice is used as reusable rocket fuel.
Ice is used as reusable rocket.
Yeah, so it's a main component in rocket fuel that they're going to basically be using in the rockets for 2024's time frame. So
it's not the fuel, but it's used somewhere
in the fuel. Okay. Yeah. And basically, it also should be stated that NASA has not selected a lander for the colonization of the moon. So technically, Blue Origin is not the deemed lunar lander. Lockheed Martin actually just issued out a contract proposal to be one of the lunar landers.
Lockheed Martin.
Lockheed Martin.
Okay.
So that's basically all I had. No. I used to, and I'm not going to go any further than that. But anyway, that's all the current events I had today. So we talked about smartwatch technology.
Yep.
I think it's going to be great that Google is going to breach into this market. At least
Smartwatches for babies. Yep.
No, that's not smartwatches for babies.
No, smartwatches for babies.
No, smartwatch. Google is going to put pressure on the king, which is Apple right now.
Yeah.
I think it's going to force them a competition, which I love. We talked about baby feeding formula.
Yep.
Great idea, but I'm worried about the cost of the monthly subscription and actually how much it offers.
Yeah, and I think that you can take the baby thing and kind of tie it back into like NAVD and some of the other kinds of small businesses that we've talked about. In that the pricing model up front is really important. And are you losing money at the beginning because your product is priced too low, or do you price it too high or do you risk pricing it too high and not getting enough customers?
I'm worried they didn't even do the MVP to find out how much formula you need for a month.
That might be true as well.
That's my worry. And we talked about going to space.
Okay.
Yeah. So thank you all for tuning in this week. Hopefully you got some enjoyment out of those articles, because I sure did, and I know Russ did.
Yeah, absolutely. I loved them.
Great, thank you.
I like the spaceflight ones.
Thank you. So please comment, like, and subscribe. Let us give some feedback down below in the comment section. Let us know what you'd like to hear in future videos.
Yeah, if you have anything to say about smartwatches, do you like smartwatches? Do you like your Apple smartwatch? Do you use any of the Android ones? Anything like that? Then comment below so we can get a conversation going.
All right, well, thank you. Have a nice day. Bye.